It's here, the story trailer for Horizon Forbidden West, showcasing returning and brand new characters, really cool fights, like the amount of battles and cutscenes we can expect seems to be really impressive, and the graphics of course look insane. All captured on PS5, and we actually got a lot of extra details about everything we're seeing in the trailer thanks to interviews that popped up, so I want to go over everything. Let's start with something that happens relatively early on in the game. First things first, we of course see Aloy a lot in the Shield Weaver armor, which makes sense as it's the most powerful armor from Zero Dawn, but as you might have noticed, the lights, so likely the special protection, is not working. And we talked about it before, how we might use that technology for the Shield Wing glider, and what I now think is that even though the armor set becomes useless, we still keep it in our inventory, but that it kind of functions the same as the Outcast armor in Zero Dawn. So that is basically useless because it stopped working, doesn't have any mods, but that would explain why they are using it in many parts of the trailer. And maybe later on in the game, when it makes sense to have a powerful armor like that, we can get it to work again. That would be awesome. So while we know that the game doesn't start in the Forbidden West, at one point early on, Aloy wants to go to this location alone. But Erend and Varl are like, no way, we will go with you. And we of course know these characters from Zero Dawn. We actually also meet both of them pretty early on in the first game. And Ben McCaw, the narrative director, confirms that both Erend and Varl will play a significant role in the sequel and are among Aloy's first companions as she heads west. Worth mentioning is that both characters now have a focus, which I'm sure they're going to explain in the sequel, and we see kind of snippets of missions with these characters, and even Varl later on with a beard, so this could hint at a time jump somewhere in the story. We got some action shots of Erend as he seems to be taking out a frost or fire claw looking at the mouth. These machines were not confirmed for Forbidden West yet. Your input is of course welcome in the comments down below. I think it's one of those, but yeah, let me know if I'm right. We totally see a rock breaker briefly with a surprise attack, so good to know that these annoying machines will be back. And Forbidden West will overall have multiple surprise attack machines, with the shell snapper that can become one with the environment, the tide rippers that should be able to jump out of water when they spot us, and the slither fang, which can also dig and appear out of nowhere. And if we look here in the distance, it seems that we got 3 slither fangs kind of poking each other, so maybe they're hostile towards each other. Taking one out already seems like a big task, let alone fighting 3 of them at the same time. Luckily, cauldrons are of course back, so Aloy can try to override maybe one of them to have them fight alongside her. And we actually got a good look inside a new cauldron for, I think, the brand new Pentaceratops type machine, right? If we zoom in like this. We still have no name for it. In this story trailer, we did see it attack the Utaru, and we also got a pretty scary close-up revealing more details. While in the Tribes trailer, we actually saw them help the Utaru maintain their fields. So maybe that happens after we learn to override them in this new cauldron. And I also think this is a brand new flying machine that we see here very briefly. It's a bat type creature from the looks of it, looking at the wings. Like, it's bigger than the Sun Wing and has a pretty different body compared to the Stormbird. So I think it's new, but again, your theories are more than welcome. Now let's go over the brand new characters. There is really a ton to go over. Of course, if you like the video so far, then leaving a like on it would really help me out. And totally subscribe for way more Horizon Forbidden West videos like this. And you can, by the way, also still participate in my digital deluxe edition for the game by clicking the special link in the pinned comment. In the amazing new artwork, we see multiple characters, but yes, Talana is strangely missing, while she was actually in the first artwork released at the reveal of the game. So yeah, she's totally coming back. We even saw her heavily featured in the first comic book, and if you read that, then you actually get some extra info about her role in the sequel, although reading the comic will not be necessary to, of course, understand what is going on. Now, Gamer.nl asked about romance options with some of these familiar characters, or maybe some of the new ones that we'll touch on in a moment. But Guerrilla Games would not say if that was possible, even though we will be spending more time with these characters compared to the first game. So maybe it's something they don't want to talk about. I think it would be weird if we did not have a romance option here and there. We do at least know, thanks to Eurogamer, that the empathic, rational and confrontational choices from Zero Dawn are back in Forbidden West, but that there should also be real choices with impact, maybe more so compared to the first game, where there were like very little dialogue options that actually mattered. So curious how it will shake out, but I don't think there will be like multiple endings. At least nothing is confirmed either way, but I would be surprised if that's the case. Going back to the trailer, because next to Aloy we actually hear another character.
In the West, war is the rule.
He's called Kotalo. In the art we see him with the awesome claw weapons that I would love to use as Aloy as well. He's a fierce and loyal warrior from the Tenakth tribe, the Sky variant to be precise. And a senior writer, Katane, teased that his story is very personal and closely tied to Aloy's own journey. We see him throw a spear as well, so I totally think that he's our guide to the conflict that is clearly going on between the Tenakth tribes. We also see and hear him during the Machines trailer, by the way, we had recently. And during the Tribes trailer, we heard a character who we now know as Zoe, an Utaru grave singer, and this means that she will sing for people who are about to die to calm them. She should have a tragic backstory, but not much else is known. Similar to Hekaro, a chieftain of the Tenakth, he's also prominently featured on the artwork, but I could not find more details about him, so he's still kind of mysterious. And then finally we see Alpha, who's from the still unknown tribe. She should be brilliant, curious, but also unsure about herself. And in the trailer we already see her with a focus. Maybe Aloy gives it to her, or she already has one the moment we meet her. Alpha, her role in the tribe is to help interpret the ancient past, so that's something Aloy will learn as she meets her and gets to know her. And Alpha's, by the way, from that mysterious tribe they were teasing at the end of the recent trailer. And I also hope that we get outfits inspired by that tribe, because I love Alpha's outfit. Although I would not be surprised if we maybe already saw one right here, but I could be wrong. Now, not all the characters are friendly, of course. We finally got a good look at one of the main villains, Regalla, who wants to kill everyone who wronged her, which seems to be the Tenakth tribe, but Eurogamer mentions that she's actually angry with the Carja tribe as well. Maybe because of the Red Raids, where the Carja pushed into the Forbidden West, killed a lot of people, burned a lot of villages. There at least seems to be a good reason why she is angry, and I love her outfit with the wings that open when jumping and moving. And of course, as with every cool NPC melee weapon, I hope that Aloy gets that cool blade. Guerrilla Games at least confirmed that there will totally be a boss fight against Regalla, which is not surprising. And speaking of weapons, Regalla is getting help, and that is likely why she's able to take revenge. As expected, Sylens is helping her by teaching her rebels how to override machines, but there's of course something behind this. We all know that Sylens has its own agenda and plan, and a lot of that we're really excited for players to discover as they go through this journey, but part of his plan does involve helping Regalla. Why he's actually doing that, that's the mystery that we can't wait for players to find out. But we will have to face even greater threats, because both Hephaestus, the rogue AI from the Frozen Wilds, and Hades are in the sequel. So we will be encountering them and likely fight off a ton of combat focused machines they throw at us. But we do have help, because at the end of the trailer we see that GAIA is back in some sort of form. And this of course the AI that created Aloy, based on its creator, Elizabeth Sobek. Guerrilla did not want to say much about it, only that GAIA is indeed returning and that she's going to help Aloy find a way to stop the Blight and save the world. But the biggest mystery is totally the lady we see at the end of the trailer. Her name is Tilda, she's being played by Matrix actress Carrie Ann Moss. She looks super futuristic. First of all, is she real or not? But I do think she fits the description of a wealthy person who would be part of the Odyssey project. This was next to Project Zero Dawn, another solution to save humanity by sending the world's wealthiest people to space and try and build a life from there. But we were told in the first game that the project failed after it exploded. But maybe they lied and it never really happened, and that it did work. And there are also theories that the Scalding Spear Desert Tenakth outpost is maybe the crash site of this project. We've seen it in multiple trailers. Could be the case. What we do know is that Tilda is a mysterious and complicated character with a special connection to the ancient past, Catane says. She's someone who we look forward to players unraveling the secret of what she's all about. The dinner table is at least ready, so seems like she wants to talk to Aloy. I'm of course again curious to hear your takes in the comments down below. Subscribe for everything Horizon Forbidden West if you haven't already. We're less than 1 month away. A like on the video would of course really help me out. And every Monday I by the way stream Zero Dawn to prepare for Forbidden West. So I hope to see you there. And in the meantime you can check out my previous video by clicking on the screen with way more details from recent trailers and gameplay. For now though, I will speak to you next time. Goodbye.